Hello and welcome to the Casually Hardcore Podcast, episode 2.
I'm the casual.
And I'm the Hardcore, and today we will be reviewing SummerSlam 2017.
The first thing we have to know is we're not the pre-show or any of that, but we are noting that Shawn Michaels is the new Colonel.
And,
I love Shawn Michaels, so I couldn't just not talk about my love.
and then the only thing else that we have to note is that a bunch of titles changed hands. So the Cruiserweight Championship changed places, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship changed hands, both on the pre-show. So, Christ, that's all I gotta say about that.
Who took the each championship back? Because I don't.
Neville took the championship back from Akira Tozawa, and the Usos won the championship off of the New Day.
That was a
New
match and a half.
Day lost. Sad. Tears from my face.
You're the worst.
Anyways, let's move on to match 1 of the night, which kind of surprised both of us because we expected what was match 3. We will get to match 3 eventually, but we expected at least I expected match 3 to be match 1, or because I thought it was going to be on the pre-show, but apparently it wasn't. Match 1 was John Cena versus Baron Corbin.
My first note. His first note is Cena lol. Sorry to take that from you, but my first note is John Cena is still laughing at Baron Corbin for losing his chance at the title after cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Cena still be laughing. 3 minutes into the match, Cena is still laughing. It was, oh my god, it was a meme.
He's like, this man is still focused on Tuesday. It's fucking Sunday.
Cena is a meme and a half, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my Christ.
Love Cena.
Oh my Christ, he was having so much fun.
My first actual note for the match is that Corbin takes the early lead, talks some trash, and then argues with the ref after knocking Cena down. And then Cena gets back up, kind of takes the lead for a second, and goes for an early match 5-knuckle shuffle. And at the time, I was like, "Are you sure about that?"
Are you sure about that?
I was like, "See, everyone knows that you're gonna fuck this up, Cena." He missed the 5-knuckle shuffle as predicted. So I don't know if you want to take. The next
one. I think next. I think it was Corbin. Corbin picked up John Cena for a really awesome sort of choke slam backbreaker thing, and it was like, what? That's illegal. You're gonna kill a man, Corbin. Christ, I know you're pissed off, but like, bruh.
You're talking about killing a man.
Killing a man, Jesus.
You should have seen the last match.
But anyways,
Cena delivers a nice DDT, follows up with a 5-knuckle shuffle. Corbin out of nowhere deep sixes, attempts a pin. Cena kicks out on 2, and then Cena quickly regains momentum and fights back. And then I think you hit the next note.
Yeah. So what happened is Corbin had taken the lead once again, and then John Cena just out of nowhere picks him up. 1, 2, 3. Game. Like it came out of nowhere. We were like, what? What?
It's kind of your classic Cena match in a way.
Yeah.
Cena picked up the win out of kind of nowhere. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I liked the match. There was some good stuff, some good memes. The memes give it an extra half-star bonus. So 3.5 out of 5.
And I ranked this match a 2. Or not a 2. Christ, a 3.
Okay, let's get it together.
My eyes. So yeah, I mean, he is right. It was your standard John Cena match, but I really loved that John Cena was basically laughing the entire freaking match.
Yes, it was amazing. It was truly just the best of memes.
Talk about getting buried because of your social media instances. Jesus Christ, rip Baron Corbin.
Match 2 was the SmackDown Women's Championship, which was Naomi versus Natalia. I don't know if you have the first note on this.
No,
Okay.
I'll start. Both of my notes are at the end, so
Okay.
I didn't really put much down.
2 minutes in, Natalia puts Naomi face first into the ring post, while they're both on the apron. It was just an excellent throw, because I believe it was like that. You get what I'm getting at, where they
It was the move where if you have someone underneath the ropes, you grab them by their leg and you throw back and it hits them in the neck, but she wasn't under the ropes. They were on the apron. She did that. Naomi went flying and smacked her head up against like bam against the ring post.
So Natalia clearly had the early lead, and Natalia is killing this match. She turns she out of nowhere puts Naomi into a submission. I have no idea what the name of the submission was, or if it was just an on the fly thing. But she's basically turning Naomi into a pretzel. It looked horrifying and it looked painful, and I was in love with it. Out of nowhere, after she releases Naomi, she puts in the sharpshooter. It looks like the end. Naomi somehow flings Natalia into the corner, and then Natalia immediately recovers, dominates, second sharpshooter, and steals the victory. Easy.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but Natalia absolutely made Naomi look like a child.
Yeah, that was not a fight. That was a domination.
Natalia literally said, "All right, you made this title really flashy and shitty, so let me just beat that ass." What?
Yeah, Natalia was having none of it. Naomi, you could see after the match. Naomi was sitting and like tears were streaming from her face because it was like she had no idea what just happened. It was like it's like she could do nothing about it.
It was like she blacked out, and then when she came back to, she was in the middle of the ring, and her championship on someone else's arms was walking out.
That was a dictatorship in the ring. That's what that was. Natalia. I gave the match a better rating than probably what it deserves. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because even though there wasn't really back and forth or anything, Natalia put up just a domination, and she killed it. She killed it with some of those moves against Naomi. She would not give Naomi the chance, and so I gave it a 3 out of 5 because of the domination.
And because it was a domination, I would have given it a 2.5. I think if this wasn't a domination, this could have been like a 3.5 star match, but I can't really give a domination that you will see something.
That's totally.
You'll see that later.
That's a totally fair thing. All right.
The next match, like I said, the third match is what we thought would be the first match.
I thought this would be the first match. I knew that this was going to be. I thought that this was going to be the fourth match because they were advertising it as one of the middle matches.
I thought that this match was going to, I just thought that they would be swapped because, let's be honest, as much as I love one of the people that's involved in this match, no one cares.
I loved this match.
Anyways, the next one, match number 3 of the night, is Big Show versus Big Cass, with Enzo Amore suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
So Enzo Amore comes out first. He gives this long ass speech. And then after like 4 or 5 minutes, it felt like of talking. Cass is basically done with it and comes out. Theme pops up. And Enzo Amore is not talking anymore. So Enzo Amore has to get in the cage. And, Cass and Enzo are taunting each other, and Cass is like, "All right, I'm done. Lift him up." And then I don't know if you have any pre-match notes.
No.
All right. It looks like you didn't take a lot of notes, so I'll take the lead on this one as well.
I didn't really care for this match.
This match was great. The match, just not even discluding Enzo Amore, it was a good match, even though Big Show had the injury on his I think it was his right hand. Big Show somehow managed to take the early lead, but then he fucked it all up by attempting to jump onto Cass from gets up on the second
the middle row,
and then tries to jump back and boom with his belly. Cass rolls out of the way because he took too long because he couldn't use his right hand. So he ends up landing on his hand because he is still instinctively puts his hand in front of him, and then Cass pretty much takes the lead from there. And then so Cass is taking the lead. He's pretty relentless on the hand of Big Show. Sorry, and then Big Show manages to take the lead after a couple of minutes and hits a choke slam, a left-handed choke slam. But he hits the choke slam, which was surprise enough. Kick out on two because Big Show is kind of weak after all that.
Not to mention he's right-handed.
Now, Cass retakes the lead, and now we have Enzo Amore.
Yeah,
I'll let you get this part.
So I don't know what happened. Cass takes the lead. Show is down. Enzo starts taking off his clothes, pulls out some oil or something, and just covers himself with it, and slips out of the cage. He gets down.
Amazing.
He gets down, turns around, and runs into a big boot from Cass.
Yeah, he's leaning. He's not leaning. He's hanging from the cage. Drops. Boot straight to the face. And Enzo was face down on the mat for the rest of this match.
Which was not long.
He got knocked the fuck out.
But yeah.
Cass takes the win soon after. It was a pretty obvious match result. I would have been surprised if Big Show would have taken the match. So Cass took the win. It was kind of an easy match. It was a given. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It probably deserves something closer to a 2.5, maybe even a 2. But I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 because Big Show gave a really good effort, and Enzo kind of memed out for a minute there. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 for those reasons.
And I wasn't interested in this match. I had to give it a 2.5. It wasn't that entertaining. It wasn't a bad match as far as heavyweights go, but it should have been on the pre-show.
That's a totally fair point.
It should have been on the pre-show. They should have made the SmackDown Tag Team Championships fit into this slot and put the Cass Show match on the pre-show because the New Day and the Uso match in the pre-show was way better. Way better.
Match 4 was Randy Orton versus Rusev. Sorry, had a mind blank there. So Orton comes out, and then Rusev appears out of nowhere and is assaulting Orton before the match has even started.
And then Rusev goes to, pick him up, so that he can set up, his Rusev kick or whatever the hell it's called that he runs from the corner and kicks you in the face. Orton turns around, RKO, 1, 2, 3, literally out of nowhere. And all I have to say for this match is just, what?
That's literally his only note. 4 letters. What?
What? We were sitting here, and I said that for no pun intended, but I said what for like a minute or two. I was flabbergasted. Flabbergasted.
Yeah, this. Yeah, Rusev assaults Orton. They start the match. Orton's standing up. He's closer to the corner. RKO. What, 5 seconds into the match, if even, and it was a 1-2-3. It was just not even a match.
It was like Randy was like, "All right, I got destroyed by Brock Lesnar. I need redemption. Let me destroy Rusev, please."
Right. So I'll let you take your rating first for this match.
It was a burial. Like, unless they make Rusev bury Orton in the next pay-per-view, the Rusev getting buried. I'm sorry, dude. Randy Orton, Christ, I can't give it any more than a 2.5. I thought it was a 1 just because these two can put on a much better match, but Xavier was right. It was still pretty entertaining, so I bumped it up to at least equal the Cass and Natalya and Naomi match, because I did enjoy, even though it was really short and I was super surprised, I did enjoy it more than the last 2 matches.
I gave it a 3 out of 5 purely because it's not a bad idea to every now and then show that you are a dominator. To say that, hey, if I want to, this match will be over when I say it is. That's never a bad thing to do. Orton showed what he had, and he put Rusev out immediately for fucking with him before the match. So I give it a 3 out of 5 because I won't give it a 3.5 or higher or anything higher than a 3 just because it was a short match and there wasn't a lot of substance. But I'm not giving it a bad score because it's not a bad idea to show that you're the king of the ring sometimes. So I gave it a 3 out of 5 because Orton showed that he was the king of the ring.
So next match of the night is the Raw Women's Championship match. It's Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. I'm not gonna lie, internal dilemma, because I love both of these women. They're great. They're great. I'm not gonna go into any more detail, but they're great. Both of them. They're great.
I didn't take a lot of notes for this match because it kind of got crazy in certain parts. But I did note at the very beginning that nobody was really taking the lead. It was kind of like just a back and forth thing, if you would even call it that. It just seemed like it was kind of toying and measuring out the opponent. And then after a couple of minutes, Bliss finally managed to pick up the lead.
The first note I had is that Sasha entered with a Las Vegas rocket headdress, and it was awesome. And then the other thing is Alexa Bliss came in, instead of having both of her pigtails, she had a rockabilly pigtail, and it was awesome. Because
apparently I do have notes for this match. I was looking at the wrong page myself. Okay.
Because I don't know. I didn't take very many notes on this because, to me at least, it's very standard. It's a very standard Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss match. So it wasn't like, oh my god.
Nothing is standard for me yet. So after
so I this is actually my last note. After your next one, but
so Alexa dominated the match for some time. There was nothing special until Sasha out of nowhere threw Bliss off of the top turnbuckle, giving Sasha the lead for a little while.
And then the last note I have is there was a Alexa Bliss went for some sort of modified sunset flip powerbomb type thing.
Mhm.
And, Sasha Banks ended up countering that. But that was pretty cool because I forget how she countered it, but it was a really awesome way.
Uh, After that, Sasha lands a backstab and transitions into a weak bank statement. Bliss grabs the rope, and so after that, Bliss picks up the lead once again. Sasha is nearly counted out. It was like she was. It was like 9 3/4, if not even 9 9/10. She was nearly counted out. I thought that maybe for an instant, I thought it was gonna hit 10. It's not something that we're usually gonna see, but I thought maybe just for an instant that's what would happen. She got back in. Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss. 1-2 kick out. There was no 1-2-3 there. Sasha was not about to give up right there, so she kicks out on 2. Sasha gives a bank statement. First time seeing the bank statement, I was pleasantly surprised with the move. Bliss escapes. And Sasha follows with a second bank statement for the win. I say hits the bank statement. I know it's just to clarify.
Submission.
Yeah, just to clarify, because the earlier one that she tried to do, it was a very weak version. It was good that she hit it twice, even though Bliss managed to escape the first time. It was an awkward counter when she did escape. So Sasha follows with the second bank statement, and Bliss cannot do anything about it.
And when Sasha locks in a good bank statement, the opponent's back just goes, what? They really do. I don't know if you noticed, but Alexa was like, ah!
That was a noise to make.
I mean, what else do you want me to? Okay, go fuck yourself.
So, for me, I don't know if you had any final match notes.
No, all I have is Sasha's the new champ. So, continuing the trend of tonight is championships are being swapped over, and that trend will get broken, unfortunately.
Well, wasn't the first title match of the night at the pre-show not The Miz retained? Isn't that right?
No, The Miz wasn't in a title match.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard that The Miz was in a title match.
No, he wasn't in a title match.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
But yeah, this match, like I said, standard Sasha Banks and standard Alexa Bliss match. So I can only really give it a 3-star. It's on par with the John Cena match. I probably enjoyed this one better just because I love both competitors, and in the John Cena match, I only really like John Cena, so I'm sorry, Baron Corbin, you can't be a dick to people on Twitter, dude.
I gave this match 3.5 out of 5. It was nice to see both of these competitors and finally see what both of these competitors are made of. They're both really good competitors. So 3.5 out of 5 because it was a good match. It wasn't like your average match. It was a pretty good match for me, I think. All right, you can take this match.
Okay. So
for the intro, I mean.
The next match we had was Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, and my first note is finally they gave us the Demon. For Christ's sake. He's been around for a year, even though he was out for 8 months due to injury. He's only been the Demon 1 or 2 times before this. So it's why? He used to do it every takeover. I mean, when he was champion, at least. I think the Demon was only defeated once, and that was in Finn's rematch.
Sorry, going through the next 5 minutes. So yeah, the Demon Finn Balor as the Demon versus Bray Wyatt. The promo for this match was kind of
spoopy.
It was kind of smooth. I was displeased with Bray Wyatt overall. Um, just I just don't like Bray Wyatt. It's hard for me to get a backing behind anything involving him. Because when I stopped watching, he had kind of just gotten into the WWE, and he was being basically just the biggest douchebag he could be. So it's just always been hard for me to get a backing behind anything involving him. But at the beginning of the match, nobody really took the lead. Balor was kind of ahead. It was kind of meh, but no one really had the lead. But Balor was kind of just toying around with Wyatt. Bray suplexes Balor on the outside of the ring, giving him the lead. Sorry, you really didn't take a lot of notes on this.
No, I really didn't. I was too busy enjoying it.
That's fair.
I think the first note that I have is after this. Balor takes a short lead again after this match, and hangs up Bray Wyatt on the middle rope, and he climbs up to the turnbuckle and jumps and does the same thing that he would for the coup de grace. And Bray's laying like this, his head's here, laying like this. Balor comes in and puts both his feet right on the back of his neck, and I was like, holy fucking Christ, you're dead.
I think this happened before that, but Bray prepped for the Sister Abigail. Balor escaped. It was too early in the match for something like that to happen. So Balor escapes, and he reset the lead with a small sequence of moves, with leaving both men on the mat to reset the lead. So no one has the lead at this point. I think what he just said, another sequence happens that causes what he just said to happen. So Balor takes the lead. They somehow get outside the ring, and some outside ring action happens. And then Wyatt. Sorry, I'm scrolling when I don't need to be. Wyatt attempts the Sister Abigail. Balor is not about that life. Counters again with a sling blade, and then Wyatt retakes the lead by driving Balor into the mat. He drove him into the mat. I can't even describe. I'm not even gonna go any more into detail than that. But it was boom. I could hear it. That was a strong hit into the mat.
Another thing to note is that earlier in the match, Wyatt was in the lead. He wanted to, set up Sister Abigail. He went in the corner, did his whole lean back. Ooh, I'm creepy Bray Wyatt. Ooh, fear me.
Oh, was this where he did?
And then he did the whole lay back, the whole lean back, and then he goes to crab, and Balor just shoots up and looks at him and grins menacingly.
Yeah.
I'm not scared, fuck boy.
And Wyatt's gets up. How about nah, fam? So that's when. So that follows right after what I said when he drove Balor into the mat. That happens. Small sequence happens. Balor ends up landing another sling blade, and he kicks Wyatt into the corner.
Yeah, he does the running front drop kick to Wyatt in the corner to set up the coup de grace.
So he kicks Wyatt into the corner. Bray Wyatt falls in front of the corner. Coup de grace, the coup de grace. Coup de grace. And 1, 2, 3. It's the coup de grace. Coup de grace, 1, 2, 3.
The coup de grace is a beautiful move. Mm-hmm. It's a very dangerous move, but a beautiful move nonetheless.
It's a horrifyingly painful looking son of a gun.
But Christ, and Balor
to just fly through the air and just stomp on someone like that.
Woo! This match, I gave this match a 3.5 out of 5. It could have been better because Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor are both better wrestlers, but I think they just kind of played it safe or didn't want it to be too long or too strenuous. But yeah, I like the story of this match. Yeah.
I give it a 3 3/4 out of 5. It was a good match. Lots of preps for finishers, lots of counters. Uh, so it was just a good match overall. I like some of the ring action that happened, even though I didn't really mention a lot of what happened. I did like what I saw. So 3 3/4 out of 5. I did expect Finn Balor to win, and he did pick up the win as expected. So 3 3/4 out of 5. Uh, so it was a good match overall. Match 7 was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Championship. It was Sheamus and Cesaro versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Which
Cesaro.
will you stop? You're the worst.
Man, WrestleMania, you were funny.
You're the worst. I mean, I'm the worst, but you're the worst. So at the beginning of this match, they're really back and forth with the lead. It was pretty much like a keeping each other on their toes kind of thing. Nobody really maintains the lead for a good amount of time. So Sheamus takes Dean out while they're on the outside of the ring, and Rollins and Cesaro are the official men. And
another thing to keep in mind, I mean, this follows in your next point, but I'm going to steal it here because I don't have too many notes until towards the end of the match.
Okay.
So basically, Dean is on the outside, and the whole thing is they're beating down Seth Rollins.
Dean, and mind you, Dean is out for a good amount of time. Dean is not seen at any point for a good amount of time.
And the one time he is seen, he's still like face down outside as Rollins finally gets a chance to tag. He looks over and sees Dean on the ground. He's like, God damn it, fuck you, Sheamus and Cesaro.
So Cesaro and Sheamus dominate Rollins for a while. They are constantly just stomping him in the corner, basically treating him like he's not even human.
Yeah, and during this sequence, no, it's not during the sequence. It's later in the match. I apologize.
But after a good solid, probably 5, 6, 7 minutes. Dean is finally able to get back in. They managed, after a couple of attempts, to finally get the tag. Dean picks up the lead, which follows with Rollins and Ambrose making a good team combo sequence against the champions. They were hitting combo after combo multiple times in this match. They were stomping, I think it was Sheamus into the corner, starting to come a little full circle there for their team. Yeah. So hey, if you fuck with me, we're gonna make it 10 times worse for you.
On top of that, that's shades of the Shield thing, because they would do that when they would attack people because they're fucking taints. Even though I love Seth Rollins, but still.
Well, they were doing it because Sheamus and Cesaro did to them. It's not because they're taints. It made perfect.
No, I mean, back when they were back when they were a Shield, they did that.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying this isn't a Shades of the Shield thing. It's like it made perfect sense for it to happen.
But it's also shades to back what they did when they were the Shield.
So
I'm not saying that's the only reason they did it. I'm saying that's a large, not a large, but a partial reason.
Cesaro out of nowhere attempts his finisher. Ambrose escapes, and it's followed with a back and forth sequence of them slapping and hitting each other's face, and that pretty much ends with them just literally like a cat fight, just they're not even this, they're this close, and they're just basically slamming onto each other's shoulders and jaws. So I think it was Ambrose gets a pin on Cesaro, gets a pin on Sheamus. And then you get your classic pin interference from Cesaro. You've got the pin. The teammate comes in, hits you, and stops it right there. And then it was Stomp Mania again. That's what I call it. Stomp Mania on Sheamus. And then Cesaro interferes again to reset the lead.
And then after pretty much after a little bit of wearing down Ambrose, uh, you know, he goes, Cesaro goes for the sharpshooter, and Rollins gets back up on the apron to interfere. Sheamus runs across, knocks him off, and then Sheamus is like, you know what? I'm gonna make him feel more pain. And Sheamus gets down and puts Rollins in a crossface, or Ambrose in a crossface, while he's also being sharpshooted.
So Cesaro picks up the lead for the team, executes some lethal submissions. That's what you just said. Ambrose manages to escape. They get two combos onto Ambrose, and he narrowly kicks out the first time. Rollins pinterferes the second time. That's what I'm going to be calling it, a pinterfere. Then all hell breaks loose in the match. This is the part where I lost track of what happened. I don't know between right here and when the match ended. I have no idea what the amount of time was.
The only thing I remember is at the very end of the match. Cesaro had they were gonna do their top rope tag team combination that has won them countless title matches. Sheamus goes up, or Cesaro goes up to the top and goes, no, it was Sheamus. Sheamus goes up to the top to jump off, and they hit their combo. But Rollins comes up, jumps up on the rope, and then springboards off the rope onto Sheamus's head and super runs him off the top rope. Dean, reverses the hold that Cesaro has on him, and then Dean spins him around, hits the dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. Once again, like I said, the trend will continue. We have new champions.
Yep, so Ambrose and Sheamus for the victory there. It was a great match. Wasn't the perfect match. I don't think no match topped my 5 out of 5 for NXT Takeover's women's match. So I gave this a solid 4 out of 5. I was pleasantly surprised with how much action was in. Well, even though it was a 2v2, I thought it would mainly be a domination by one team up until the end, and then the match would just kind of end. But I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of times the lead switched, and just how much domination each team got before the match ended. So solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I had to agree with that. Not for exactly the same reasons, because I was expecting a pretty even match, just because, Shield reunion, well, semi-Shield reunion, and then Sheamus and Cesaro have been, some of the most underrated wrestlers in the WWE for a while now. So yeah, I couldn't give it a 4.5 or anything higher, but it was still a really good match. One of the better ones of the night.
What did you end up giving that one? Did you say
a 4?
A 4. Okay.
I said that.
Okay. Match 8 was the.
Well, I'll do this.
Okay.
Match 8 was the U.S. Championship match with my boy AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Obviously I have a favorite in this match because Kevin Owens is a colossal entitled prick, and B, I've been a fan of AJ Styles ever since the TNA days. So, and TNA is kind of now down the pooper. But let's not talk about that for right now. We got a match to.
Did you mention special guest referee Shane McMahon?
Oh, well, with special guest referee Shane McMahon.
You got your SGR Shane McMahon in this match. Now, our original prediction for what the match was going to look like was totally wrong. We thought it was going to be your classic special guest referee match where
at this point we had seen so many titles change hands that we were concerned we were concerned, and at least I was convinced that every single title was changing hands tonight.
But I had seen special guest referee matches in the past. He's seen them, obviously. I thought this was going to be a classic case of where the lead of the match loses. Whoever has the lead loses the match because the person who doesn't have the lead moves out of the way at a critical moment for the lead, and that makes them nail the special guest referee. And the special guest referee just thinks that the lead just took them out for no reason. But thankfully, that did not happen, and I was pleasantly surprised with the match. And I will say that at every point in the match, Shane McMahon was totally fair. There were plenty of points where he could have done a quick count if he wanted, because there were points where Kevin Owens was being a bitch, and he could have quick counted Kevin Owens out. There was a point where AJ was a bitch. He could have quick counted there, but he did what he said he was going to do, and he was fair. He was impartial, and so massive amounts of respect out to Shane McMahon for this match. But now we can actually get into the notes for the match.
Yeah, the first thing I had is a bunch of screwery happened. Basically, they kept playing up the story that neither one really was like gonna basically give a BJ to Shane McMahon, and both of them ended up hitting Shane McMahon on accident, like a bunch of times. So
yeah, Shane pretty much got dominated this match, even though he was not a contestant.
Yep.
And still, and that just plays up to the still massive amounts of respect, because even though he had plenty of opportunities to and every reason to, he was fair and impartial to both competitors at every point in the match. So, and massive amounts of respect.
Well, except one, but it didn't matter.
So Kevin took the early lead after a hot second in the match. And then after a couple minutes, AJ manages to pick up the lead, giving Kevin a number of phenomenal hits. Just gorgeous, phenomenal hits. Are you proud of me?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice pun there.
The only reason the word phenomenal is in my notes is for you, just so you know.
That's fair.
Just for you. Otherwise, it was gonna say great hits, but I wrote phenomenal just for my best friend over there. Out of nowhere, Kevin hits the pop-up powerbomb. It was still kind of early in the match. I thought maybe it would end, but I was pretty confident that it wouldn't. He goes to pin AJ, but Shane had been hit earlier, so he's unable to get there and start the count for a good 4 or 5 seconds, which allowed AJ to kick out on 2. I could not take notes for the rest of this match because just a whole lot of fuckery happened after that point. I will tell you the rest of my notes. The rest of my notes are basic fuckery happens, but a lot more than usual, and then fuckery continued to happen for a while. So you're gonna have to take the rest.
Eventually, what happened is AJ hit. He hit a Pele kick. He hit his modified AA neck breaker thing.
God bless you. God bless you.
I apologize.
God bless you.
Christ. The reason I've been leaning over so much is because I have really bad allergies and sinus issues. So every time you see me lean over, I'm blowing my nose if it's not heard through the mic, because
every time you see me leaning over, it's because I'm bad at being on camera.
That's fair. So yeah, he hits the Pele kick. He hit his overhead net breaker thing, and then he hits a phenomenal forearm, goes for the pin, doesn't get it, and then he hits a Styles Clash, goes for the pin, doesn't get it, and then he picks Owens up again. I apologize.
I heard that one.
I'm sorry, runny nose. Fuck. But they well, I don't want them to see me blow my nose. Anyways, he picks Owens up, hits another attitude adjustment. Fuck me. Hits another Styles Clash, and picks up the victory. So this is the match that broke the cycle, and I was convinced from here on out the rest of the matches were not going to change hands, and we'll determine whether I'm right or not.
Match 9 was the WWE Championship. So it was Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke.
Shinsuke.
Sorry, it's been a night. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Forgive me. Please don't hate me. Shinsuke Nakamura, or as Caleb likes to call him, Shinsuke Knox.
Shinsuke Knox.
I hate it. Please kill me. But don't. Kill me. Shinsuke takes the early lead, and I had to learn the hard way that Shinsuke is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, but he's funny.
Shit.
He's funny, and he's good.
The amount of times that I commented, Shinsuke is a pedophile, is because like he was just like pointing to his truck. Calm down, man. I was genuinely worried he might pop out of my TV and steal me. I'm 19 years old and I was terrified for my life. Jinder Mahal manages to steal the lead after the Singh brothers. After the Singh brothers distract Nakamura while he's on the outside of the ring. Lead switching happens for a number of minutes after a couple good hits from Jinder.
And then my one note happens, which is bullshit.
Yeah, the Singh brothers interfered kind of. I don't know if there was like a reason or a lead up, but they just interfere, and out of nowhere, Jinder Mahal picks up the win. It was
with a very, very sloppy modified plus.
Yeah, it was just. It was an ugly match.
It was pretty much bullshit.
Up to that point.
If Jinder Mahal would lose the championship, this match made the most sense. But after the AJ Styles Kevin Owens match broke the sequence, I knew for a fact that this match wasn't changing hands. If all the titles beforehand wouldn't have changed hands, and let's say the Raw Tag Team Championship doesn't change hands. Let's say that the Women's SmackDown Championship doesn't change hands. Let's say that the Cruiserweight Championship doesn't change hands. Then I would be like, all right, this match is definitely changing places.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as the sequence was broke, I'm like, nothing is changing the rest of this. And it's just utter bullshit. Because Shinsuke Nakamura is a way better competitor than Jinder Mahal will ever be.
So the Singh brothers interfere. Jinder Mahal picks up the win. It was pretty much good until that out of nowhere the Singh brothers interference.
I didn't get to see the freaking Kinshasa. That's
right.
Bullshit.
I didn't get to see it. I was writing a note at that moment in time. So sorry, it sucked.
No, it was a missed Kinshasa. He didn't actually hit the move.
The match sucked anyway.
It
was a 1 out of 5 match. The match was good. It was an early end. It should not have ended as early as it did. 1 out of 5.
Not to mention, Jinder Mahal should not have gone over here. No.
What did you say?
Gone over, like picked up the win.
Okay. Yeah, 1 out of 5, and it's not about because we hate Jinder Mahal. It's about the match was just good up until that point, and then it was over when it should not have been over. There was plenty of more potential out of that match that was not tapped into. 1 out of 5 because that was a ruined match.
I actually quite like Jinder Mahal. I think he's pretty entertaining because he always makes me chuckle because his voice, Jinder Mahal.
What does he call himself? The modern day Maharaja?
The modern day Maharaja.
We looked that up last night, and from what I can tell, it means an Indian prince, high king, or
noble.
Yeah, basically noble rules. But the two that stood out were high king and Indian prince.
And I would just assume he's calling himself the modern day king.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah, that match was shit. 1 star. I really wanted to give it 0.5, but for the fact that Nakamura's in this match, I gave it a 1 because Shinsuke's great.
the match had plenty more potential. It was just the match was ruined. So I can't find any reason in my soul to give it more than a 1 out of 5. If we were doing it out of 10, I probably would have gave it a 1 out of 10. But I didn't want to give a fraction on this one.
Yeah, same.
So be lucky, Jinder and Shinsuke.
Well, more so Ginger. I'm sorry. Anyways, the last match tonight was the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. That was champion Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns,
Samoa Joe,
and Braun Strowman.
So I didn't take a lot of notes on this match.
It was pretty chaotic at the beginning because everyone was beating the shit out of everyone. Still early in the match, Samoa Joe locks in a Coquina clutch, which is just a modified sleeper hold, but let's not get into that. So he locks one in on Lesnar, and in comes Roman Reigns trying to spear both of them, and instead he just gets out of the way, and Roman Reigns, after Brock Lesnar was put in a Coquina clutch, Roman Reigns just spears him through the barricade, and it was beautiful.
Important note, they're outside the ring at this point in time.
Yeah.
Strowman is a monster. Virtually this whole match, Strowman is a monster. Strowman is bringing the assault, the murder, to Lesnar. He puts Lesnar through a table.
He running power slams him through both of the announcers' tables, and then tips the third one over on top of him.
Moves, tips, and just boom, right on top of him. Caleb didn't catch this, but I caught this while they were removing Lesnar. The medical staff removes Lesnar, which pretty much set up the rest of the match. When they lifted up, you could see on part of him, he was bleeding, but when he came back, it didn't look like there was any sign of injury or blood. So I don't know if there was an actual injury.
It was like white.
Yeah,
it was white on that same shoulder. I don't know. Real white.
So I don't know what happened with that, but it looked like there was an injury when he was getting removed. It might have been the orange of the stretcher, but it looked too red to not be blood. So Lesnar gets removed. That really sets up for what the rest of the match is going to look like. Caleb starts predicting that Lesnar or Roman Reigns is going to win the match.
Yeah. And they were both involved in the finish, not to spoil anything, but I knew that Lesnar was going to leave and come back, and that's what eventually happened.
He really thought Roman was going to win. I knew Roman wasn't going to win because Roman was playing out too much.
No, I thought the only reason I thought that is because Brock didn't really do much of anything when he did come back. But I knew as soon as Lesnar left, it was gonna be Lesnar or Reigns.
I was confident. I wanted Reigns to win, but I was confident that he wouldn't win because Reigns was playing out too much.
Offense. So, one person that did absolutely nothing was Samoa Joe, and it makes me sad. Like, the only thing he did was failed Coquina clutch attempts. That's it.
Strowman double choke slams Reigns and Joe, so boom, boom. Goes to pin Reigns. Reigns kicked out. Lesnar comes back. Some shitteroni happens. It was hard for me to follow. I don't have a lot of notes. So Strowman almost wins by pinning Joe, but Reigns pulls the ref, or not Reigns, Lesnar pulls the ref out of the ring, which is a smart move to be fair. Some basic fuckery happens. I don't know if you have anything else before I get to my last note.
No. Like I said, I already said. The only other note I have on here is that the Strowman powerbombing Lesnar through the table twice. That's it.
So Lesnar F5 Reigns 1, 2, 3 game over. It was a pretty obvious match. Who was gonna win? I just gave it a 3 out of 5. The beginning of the match was really good, but after Lesnar came back out, I pretty much knew it was going to happen, and the rest of the match just was not that great after that point. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. I let it be average, even though I was more displeased than pleased with how the match went.
I was displeased with the ending because here it made the most sense for Strowman or Joe to pick up the victory. But it makes sense. I knew they were going to swerve us one way or another with Lesnar. Either Lesnar was going to retain or he was going to leave. He was going to lose and not actually leave. But I was fairly certain in the beginning that Lesnar was the odds-on favorite for me. I was coming into this, I was like 70% Lesnar, and then even on everyone else because of the fact that Brock still is in contract. Unless Vince is going to buy him out of his contract or they're swerving us, there's no reason for Lesnar to lose this. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world for him to lose, but there's no reason backstage why he would lose. So, after he got removed, that was when I was like, all right, it's Strowman's getting in too much offense. There's no way after him putting out Lesnar that Strowman's going to pick up the win. And I was like, okay, well, Samoa Joe has done nothing this entire match, so it's possible that Joe could win. And then when I knew Lesnar was going to come back, so Lesnar was still, like, my favorite to win the match. Like, I didn't want him to win the most, but I knew he was going to win. Like, as soon as he got taken out, Xavier, I know you didn't note it, but I was like, it's Lesnar. Like, they're giving him like 5 minutes to rest. It's Lesnar.
Yeah, that's what I thought. As soon as Lesnar went out, I was like, this match is pretty obvious at this point. So that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5. That's why he gave it a 4 out of 5. So my most highly rated match of the night was AJ versus Kevin. I rated that as a 4.5 out of 5. But I think it was not my favorite match. I think my favorite match of the night was probably Sheamus and Cesaro versus Rollins and Ambrose.
I didn't actually rate this one, but I rated it a 4-star. It was a good match. I don't really like powerhouse wrestling, but all four of these guys tore the house down. So
You mean Strowman tore the house down?
yeah, specifically Strowman.
And then Strowman.
Well, he didn't really bitch out. It's just that he was booked to not win the match. So. But yeah. I don't know. Overall, this match had some real low points. Like real low points.
This match was a pretty obvious match on how it would go. Especially early on. Especially early on.
And the pay-per-view as a whole had its real down points like the Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Knox match was
bad.
Fucking atrocious.
Overall, I would probably rate this pay-per-view. I was excited for this pay-per-view. After the pay-per-view ended, I was upset with the pay-per-view. I would give this pay-per-view a 2.25 out of 5.
This pay-per-view as a whole was pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure I gave NXT a 3.5. I can't give this more than a 3, and I will give it a 3 purely for the Finn Balor as Demon. Even though I didn't want Lesnar to retain, that match was fucking awesome. The AJ Styles match, AJ and Kevin Owens tore the house down, best match of the night. And on top of that, AJ retained, and he's my guy, so I can't really fault that. Another thing was the Alexa Bliss Sasha match. I know it was pretty standard, and I didn't rate it very high, but I still love watching those two wrestle.
That was my second favorite match of the night. I think I rated the NXT.
And then in the pre-show, the New Day and the Uso match was crazy.
Yeah, but
if that was on the main card, that would probably rival the AJ Styles Kevin Owens match. It was so good.
If that would have been on the main show, I probably would have been a 2 3/4. That's all. That's one match for bumping it up a half. a good 10%.
Like, I mean, I wanted, even though the match was crap and I hated the way it ended, the Jinder Mahal Nakamura match, it needs to be on the main card, but the Big Show Big Cass match did not need to be on the main card.
I think it definitely should have been on the main card. I loved the match. It wasn't in my favorites, but I liked the match, and I'm glad it was on the main card because of the cage and everything. I think it definitely fit.
It was my second least favorite match.
I think it fit in a way.
I don't think it fit at all.
So overall, 2.25 out of 5 for this event. That I believe in percentages that is 40%, 45%.
Hang on. Yes, I think 45.
45%. Yep. So I gave it a 45% out of 100. A big fat efferoni.
I mean, I would, like I said, 3 out of 5. I mean, it's better. It's above half. So it's still. I still thought that this pay-per-view was better than some of the other pay-per-views that they put on. They had crap. Like, I'm gonna keep going back to it, but the WWE Championship match was fucking atrocious. Like, I think Jinder Mahal is amazing, but come on, dude. Like, Shinsuke has dominated literally everyone, and you want to make Jinder fucking Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Fucking do that shit.
Come back. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get.
It's just.
We're gonna get past it. We're gonna work through this.
Doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure when the time comes, Shinsuke will get.
Oh no, he's eventually gonna win, but it's gonna be some stupid gimmick bullshit where if anybody interferes, Shinsuke wins. It's gonna be some bullshit like that, and that shouldn't be the case because Shinsuke should be able to kick both the Singh brothers, turn around Kinshasa Jinder, and win. But okay.
Well, if it does come to that, there's the. Sorry for shaking the camera, but if it does come to that, the reason that it will come to that is because of the continuous interference from the Singh brothers or from anyone else.
Like the Great Khali, cough cough.
I don't know what you're getting at. That was probably
that was the last SmackDown pay-per-view. Jinder Mahal interfered to make Orton lose that match. Or Jinder Mahal, the Great Khali, interfered.
Okay.
It was a Punjabi prison match. Punjabi. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you Thursday for our week, whatever this is of the year recap. But I mean, it'll be week 3, episode 3. So yeah, we're gonna recap Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and 205 Live all in the same show because he's busy. Well, I mean, we might until you go back to class. We might be able to do them separate, but that would have him over here like all the time. Which I mean, I'm not opposed to, but you know, I still.
I'm not opposed to.
I don't want him to drive back and forth all that time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in episode 3. Goodbye.